great. Where are they?
They've gone for a walk. No, they're getting into the car.
Laszlo, don't spy on them.
I was so pleased at seeing true love walking hand in hand, I couldn't resist staring at them.
Yes, it's nice to have a happy couple in the house.
It's nice to have two happy couples in the house. To you, my dear Ada. Ah, Philip. Won't you join us for a drink?
Have you seen Jean-Paul?
They just walked away into the sunset.
They did?
Jean-Paul and Emily want to be alone. They have a life to plan, lots to talk about, like most young couples in love.
Would you have a drink, Philip?
Thank you, I will.
The house is quiet, isn't it?
Perhaps I should ask Court to join us.
Oh, no, he's gone into town. He said he's going to a movie, and then he's going to have dinner out. He gets restless around here.
Then we are alone, we three.
Well, Susan's upstairs. I'll go get her.
Poor Philip.
Why, what's the matter with him?
Oh, you men. You never realize when another man has a broken heart.
No, I suppose not.
Come in.
The Thaxtons would like you to join them for a drink.
I don't drink.
Oh, I know you don't. They just like your company. Everyone else has gone out.
No, I'm afraid I wouldn't be very good company for anybody tonight.
Oh, come on down. I'm kind of in the dumps, too, and maybe we could cheer each other up.
No, I don't like the drawing room.
Well, we can't very well bring them up here.
No, strange things happen to me when I'm in that room. I don't like it.
I'll be with you.
Look, couldn't we go for a walk instead?
No, I don't want to leave the house until Jean-Paul and Emily come back.
Well, where'd they go?
Out for a drive.
Well, I'll go down when they come back, okay?
Well, what'll I tell the Thaxtons?
Well, just make some excuse for me.
Look, Susan, they would just like you to celebrate Jean-Paul's engagement with them.
I don't want to. I can't pretend I'm pleased about it when I'm not.
I thought you were Emily's friend.
Well, that's why I don't want her to marry Jean-Paul.
But you can't stop them.
You could if you wanted to.
No, even I can't any longer. Emily's made up her mind.
But you've got to stop her. She mustn't marry Jean-Paul. His stars are against it.
Is that what your charts tell you?
Don't make fun of them. You can't fight the stars.
You can try. Instead of sulking in your room, you might have the common courtesy to consider other people's feelings for a change.
You just don't understand, that's all.
You're right. I thought you were growing up, not some spoiled child throwing a tantrum about things you can't change.
Would you like another one, my dear?
No, thank you. One drink is quite enough for me.
I'm glad to see you're not,
Drinking so much.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Well, there's no reason for me to have to drink so much anymore.
I'm very glad to hear that.
I'm delighted to know that Court is going to be working with you.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
I know he'll be happier with something to occupy his mind. Why don't you take him down to the office and introduce him to the rest of the men and let him begin to become involved with the business?
I intend to do exactly that. There is something I would like to discuss with you.
What?
Well, I think it would be much easier on you if I took over your business affairs. It would save you all that trouble of facts and figures, papers to read and sign.
It's true, I don't know very much about it.
I could draw up a power of attorney, and then you wouldn't have to bother with any of it.
Well, wouldn't it be better if I just turned it all over to court? Well, since eventually my property will belong to him anyway, why don't we just let him start handling it now?
He has less experience than you do, my dear.
Perhaps you're right. Well, I'll talk it over with Jean-Paul. He'll know what I should do.
Your property has nothing to do with him.
But it all belongs to the Desmond estate.
Jean-Paul has plenty on his mind. Why burden him?
If I burden him, he will tell me, I'm sure. I don't want to discuss it anymore.
Well, where's your date?
She asked me to make her excuses for her. She isn't feeling too well.
Now that Jean-Paul is getting married, I suppose you'll be leaving us soon.
I hadn't really thought about it.
Don't you think you should?
I can't see how that has anything to do with you.
No, perhaps I was prying. It's understandable, though. You Desmonds are a fascinating lot.
I'm glad you think so.
Perhaps there is another reason why you're staying.
I don't follow you.
Well, I was thinking that you and little Susan could make the occasion a double ceremony.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't discuss my personal life.
Oh, that was a lovely ride, Jean-Paul. Please forgive me for being so irritable earlier.
Darling, it's not your fault. It's me. You have every right to be. You're very much part of my life, you know. But for your own safety, there's some things that you just can't know. Trust me. I love you very much.
Aha! The happy young couple returns. Ada and I were trying to celebrate by ourselves since no one seems to be about.
Oh, where is everyone?
Court went down into town to the movies.
And Susan?
Upstairs, she's not feeling well.
Oh, I think I'll go up and make sure she's all right.
Philip isn't here either.
No. He's in a bad mood. I must say, for a house that's supposed to be filled with festivities, there's a great deal of gloom around.
Yes, it is very quiet tonight.
It gave Aiden a chance to talk about Court's future.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about Court. He's young and impulsive, but he's really a very decent boy.
Well, we were just wondering if it might be better if he received his part of the Desmond estate before you marry. Oh, just to keep it in his name, as it were.
Well, I don't think we should really rush into these matters. As you know, I have most of my affairs in the hands of my lawyers. And after Emily and I are married, I think I shall take an interest myself. Of course, I shall leave the management of the factory in your very competent hands. But as far as family investments and real estate income, I think I shall concern myself with that.
It's a great deal of work.
Well, who knows? I may get to enjoy it. And then we may not have to depend so much upon you.
I don't mind the work.
Well, surely you have many other things to do with your life, instead of handling other people's business affairs.
Laszlo said you weren't feeling well.
No, I just said that to get out of going down and having a drink with him, that's all.
Good, I was worried.
Philip tells me you're going ahead with the wedding plans after all.
Yes, but we haven't set a date yet.
I wish you all the happiness in the world, Emily. I really do.
Thank you. And I wish that you...
What do you wish for me?
Well, I hope that someday you find a man who'll make you as happy as Jean-Paul makes me.
I don't ever expect to find that person.
Oh, we all think like that sometimes, Susan. But then one day a man appears, and we look into his eyes, and suddenly we realize it's happened.
No, it's happened for you, but it won't happen for me.
Well, maybe if you gave it half a chance, it might happen right here.
Why did you say that?
Haven't you even thought of Philip?
No. Philip's marked for unhappiness, the same as I am. We're not a good couple.
Oh, I think you are.
Emily, remember I told you that I had dreams about cavaliers and courtiers?
But Susan, I'm not talking about dreams. I'm talking about real people.
No, listen. I dream about real people, but they have different names. And one of them's Philip. Something terrible is going to happen to him. I know that.
Well, what's going to happen to him?
I don't know. It's like a dream. I can't remember.
Well, you should tell Philip.
No, I'm afraid to.
But you might save him from whatever it is that's going to happen to him.
No, it's already happened. It happened a long time ago, but I don't really know what time.
Susan, we all dream about people we know in different situations.
No, but I'm not always asleep when I dream. That's the whole thing.
I don't understand.
Sometimes when I'm talking to someone, my mind goes blank. It's as if it were in someone else's mind or in a memory. That's why I'm not quite sane at times. I become someone else in another time.
In the 17th century?
Mm-hmm.
And you see the sign, the mark of death?
No, I've only seen that here, twice on Court's face. I've never seen it anywhere else.
Do you dream about other people besides Philip?
I'm not sure. I think I do, but there's a strange feeling when I'm talking to someone that they've lived in my dream as well.
Me, for instance?
No, but Court and Raxel. But as soon as I start seeing them again, like, it just sort of disappears.
Listen, Susan, will you promise me something?
What's that?
The next time that this happens to you, no matter who you're with or where, will you come and tell me about it? Will you do that?
Why do you want me to do that?
I'm sorry, I can't answer that now, but just promise me you'll do it.
Okay, I promise.
Jean-Paul?
Yes?
Oh, I don't mean to disturb you, but do you have a minute?
Oh, of course, Ada. Come in.
I shouldn't trouble you with my affairs. But what is a power of attorney?
Oh, that's an agreement between two people which allows another person to handle, let's say, your business or financial matters without your having to sign every piece of paper. They, in effect, act for you.
Well, shouldn't it be a lawyer?
Not always. It could be a friend or a relative you trust. Why do you ask?
Well, Court mentioned it. I just wanted to know what it was.
Well, I wouldn't advise you're giving Court such authority. He doesn't have enough experience in business to assume such a responsibility.
Well, could Laszlo do it?
Well, if you wish, I don't see why not. But my advice would still be to talk to a lawyer. Don't be alarmed. It's simply that handing over power of attorney is a very risky business unless you want to hand it over to someone that you trust absolutely.
Thank you, Jean-Paul. I guess I'll go and talk to Laszlo about it.
I didn't know you'd come back. Can I speak to you?
Of course.
I'm just going down to prepare dinner.
Did you find Raxel?
No, we drove all over Desmondton looking for her, but not a sign.
Does she know anyone in town?
Only the shopkeepers. She seldom leaves Desmond Hall except to do errands.
Well, is Mrs. Hatter a friend of hers?
Irene? No, they don't get along at all. Why do you ask?
Well, I just saw her going into Mrs. Hatter's house this morning. I thought it rather curious, so I waited. And then in a little while, she came out and returned to Desmond Hall.
Are you sure? That seems very unlikely.
I'm positive. Do you mind if I ask Mrs. Hatter?
Well, I really would rather not getting her too involved. She's a nice woman, but she's a bit of a gossip.
Well, I'll pretend I'm making a social call.
Philip, I was just coming to find you. I said some very rude things to you this afternoon, and I want to apologize.
It's forgotten already. Don't give it another thought.
Thank you. Oh, I guess Jean-Paul told you we couldn't find Raxel. She must be hiding somewhere.
Well, if she is, I think I know where. I'll be back in a short while. And Emily,
Yes?
stay with Jean-Paul. And if anything goes wrong, just say, Arendo, Arendo.
I will.
He'll protect you when I'm not here.
Emily? Emily? Come here! Quick! Please? Please hurry!
What's the matter?
Stay here with me.
What is it? Tell me.
Look,
I don't see anything.
the star!
What star?
Jean-Paul's star. The star of death. It's there.
Oh, no.
Look, you'll be safe here with me.
No, I promised Philip that I'd stay with Jean-Paul.
Emily, you don't understand. You've got to stay away from him when the star appears.
Ada says we have time for a drink before dinner. Will you join me?
If you like.
Good. Then we can continue our discussion. It's so seldom we get to discuss business affairs.
Ada has already asked my advice
Oh, about what?
about power of attorney.
And what did you tell her?
I told her it'd be best to deal with her lawyers.
The Desmond estates are very complicated. So much property both here and abroad, so many investments.
Yes. We really ought to divide it up equally, you know. There's enough to go around for everyone.
I suggested that Ada ought to receive her share now while she still can enjoy it. And Court, too.
Court's portion is to be held in trust for him until he is 25, as mine was.
What about Philip?
Philip? Well, Philip is not eligible to inherit any of the estate. He's from an entirely different branch of the family.
Oh. I thought perhaps that's why he remained at Desmond Hall so long, to stake out a claim.
Don't be crude, Laszlo.
Well, since no one has seen fit to inform me of his presence, I just made assumptions.
Well, I assure you that after Emily and I are married, then all of this will be settled. I mean, there's no great urgency now, is there?
Well, marriage changes a man's financial situation. He takes on new responsibilities and obligations. There are wills to be filed, trusts and bequests to be established.
You sound as if you're talking about my funeral instead of my wedding.
One can't be too careful in matters of money.
Well, dinner is ready. Would you mind telling the others, Jean-Paul?
Yes, fine. I don't know if Philip will be back in time. I don't think we better hold dinner for him, but I'll check with Emily and Susan.
So you did talk to Jean-Paul about the matter we discussed earlier?
Well, since it's my money, I decided to seek his counsel.
I suggested you not.
Well, I prefer to handle my own affairs in my own way.
What does that mean?
It means, Laszlo, that things are quite different from what they were when we were first married.
I see. You haven't forgiven me for Irene, have you?
It merely means that I've decided to retain control of my income. And it goes to court when I die.
Is it still there?
No, it's gone. It comes and goes. But it'll come out again later tonight,
Well, then may I go now?
if you want to.
Susan, please don't be angry with me. I know you're trying to help me, and I do appreciate it.
Dinner's ready.
We'll be down in a minute, Jean-Paul.
Emily, go down without me.
Let me in.
Oh, please, do as I tell you. Just go down with Susan and wait until Philip comes back.
Are you all right?
I will be all right if you do as I tell you. Now, promise?